Tara. All right. Well, happy Wednesday. You have joined us here, April 19th. So middle month, just over that mid-month mark. You're joining Can-Do's webinar Wednesday series. So we're honored that you're here. We're honored first and foremost that, Creator has given us another day to learn, to grow, to dream, to run with the vision and the ideas that have been given to us to build on our own capacity. And that's really what Can-Do, these webinars are about. So we're honored to have you here. We give thanks to Creator for the gift of this day and this moment and this beautiful opportunity that we can gather together and learn. I know our guest speaker, she's joining us from BC, and we have another gentleman in the room today, and he's joining us from Ontario. And my name is Michelle, and I'm joining from Emiskwaci, Waskagan, Edmonton, Treaty 6 territory. So it's amazing how we can gather together on a Wednesday afternoon and become inspired and build our capacity. So we give thanks. We come with gratitude in our hearts. So open your mind, open your heart. I am delighted to have our guest speaker. I always learn so much. I always walk away feeling a little bit stronger in who I am and what I want to do with my business and work and organization whenever I get an opportunity to sit in one of her webinars. So Loa is joining us from BC. She has 20 plus years of entrepreneurial marketing, technology, and sales expertise through her marketing agency, Activate. She's all about that consulting. She's all about building capacity for private and public companies, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, not-for-profit organizations here in Canada. She is been kept on her toes. She is a busy woman. We're so honored that she pressed pause in her schedule just to come join us and to share some of her passion, her knowledge. Today's conversation is about perfecting your business pitch, which I don't know about you, but I need continuous help. We're constantly growing and evolving, and so are our businesses and ideas. So I sat through this one, I think, before, and I cannot wait to sit through it again. And, even in her line, and this is so Loa, she's like, what is the most effective approach to dazzle your audience and to impress customers? As she's really good at that. So we are so delighted that you're here to join us. You have so much good knowledge and good information through your experience, education. So we're just honored to have you here. So this is an interactive session, so please feel free to jump on in, put comments, questions in the chat box. She always likes to have that engagement. She always loves to hear from you as well. So this is really an awesome time just to bring questions and thoughts to the table today. So welcome, you're a dear friend to us here at Can-Do, Loa. So thank you so much for being here, and I thank you all for joining this afternoon. I'm passing this virtual mic off to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much. You always bring so much warm, incredibly upbeat energy to every webinar. So thank you for that and for the warm welcome. I really appreciate it. Everybody, it's so nice to be here with you today from what looks like it's trying to be sunny Vancouver, but it's been unseasonably cool. I don't know about Edmonton, but I think that Tara was telling me things are a little bit similar to what we're getting here. So hopefully spring is just around the corner for all of us. So I am here today, as Michelle mentioned, to talk about perfecting your business pitch. So have you ever heard the saying, you only have one chance to make a good first impression? You probably have, right? That's been around for a while. What about this one? You literally have 30 seconds to captivate your audience. And the reason for that is because, do you know why? We live in a media-rich environment, don't we? We have so much information coming at us on a day-to-day basis. So literally we see up to 40,000 ads a day, whether it's brand messaging, whether it's pitches like this, or whether it's ads in social media. We see a lot of multimedia and media presentations. So our brains literally have to filter a ton of information. So what do we pay attention to? Well, we typically pay attention to things that are most important to us and relevant in the moment. Of course, since we're all representing businesses, then that means it's important for us to know how to effectively communicate the message that we have so that our target audience, whether that be our peers or whether you're pitching to your management team or investors, partners, it's really important that we're able to A, understand who they are, and B, get our message across in a way that really captivates and engages them. So my goal today is to give you some tips and tricks that I'm hoping you will walk away with and just be able to really enhance your presentation and business pitch skills. So you know a little bit about me, as Michelle did that wonderful introduction. What I would like to know is a little bit about you. Why don't we start with Nicole? And Nicole, can you introduce yourself and let us know where you're calling in from? And what kind of presenting do you do? And what is your favorite non-work activity so we can find out a little bit about you?
Hello, Tansei. I'm joining from Mesquite, Wisconsin, the Treaty 6 territory, and also known as Edmonton or Beaver Hills House. I work primarily full-time for a company called Enbridge. So it's an energy transportation company, but I'm always looking at new skills because I'm on a project that is relatively new for the company and new for the province of Alberta is carbon capture and storage. So I'm doing a lot of presentations, and I'm also partnering with local Indigenous communities to develop this project and inform people on what carbon capture is. So definitely a lot of communication. There's some business stuff to it, but there's also it's a broad topic with climate change and emissions reductions and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of pieces to it, and so I'm looking for ways to to make sure that I'm sharing enough information for people to feel comfortable and informed, and not too much that they just lose interest.
100%. Such good sense. And then what's your favorite non-work activity?
I really enjoy hiking and anything outside, slow pitch. So I'm very happy that the weather is nice because canoeing, just any kind of outdoor activity where I can be out on the land. I really enjoy that.
Oh, excellent. I'm with you there. Same. We have very similar interests. Right on. Thank you. And who's next? Ken, how about you?
I got to find my button here. My name is Ken, and I guess what I'm doing is I'm trying to encourage knowledge, Indigenous knowledge. My current mission is to try and get organizations, when they do the land acknowledgement, to take it one step further and say what they're personally doing and what either their employees or their members in their community can do towards reconciliation. So it's not just the land acknowledgement. What is the organization doing? What is your organization doing? And what are you doing, or what can your people be doing? So that's all in an attempt to encourage more Indigenous involvement and gratitude. And my off-work activity is learning. I'm in an Ojibwe area, and so I'm trying to learn the Ojibwe language and culture, but not at a very fast pace, sort of a one word at a time. That's me.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you, Ken. And how great is that you're learning Ojibwe? That is so cool. I can't imagine it is an easy language to learn, but that's I can't wait to hear you say a few words. Excellent. And Punita, how about you? Punita, are you there? Oh, perhaps she stepped away. Okay, well, Benita, we look forward to hopefully seeing you turn on your, oh, looks like something's going on there. Okay, maybe not. All right, let's just keep moving along then. First of all, before we get into the material, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to be able to work and play on the traditional territories of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam people here in Vancouver. And when we look at our agenda and what you can expect to walk away with today, we're going to talk about the importance of doing a stellar business pitch. And why is it so crucial in today's busy social media, multimedia environment to really understand what are the elements that go into a great pitch. So we're going to go through all of those individual topics as well. We have an hour together today, so I'm hoping that we can get a little interaction and maybe do a little bit of practicing as well, but we'll have to see how the time goes. We're also going to look at why is it important to do research and preparation. We'll look at preparing for the presentation and what that looks like. We'll talk about delivering the presentation with confidence and how bringing you and your personality into the presentation is really going to help to captivate your audience. And then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. And if we have time, we'll also go into breakout rooms and do a little bit of practicing. So the importance of a business pitch. Well, first impressions matter, don't they? A pitch is usually going to be the first thing that you do to engage your audience. And so you really need to know what is it that your audience, what matters to them? What is it that, what are their goals? And what is the goal that you have of the outcome for your presentation? We're also going to, it's important to know that how a compelling pitch, AKA presentation, is going to help you stand out in a crowded marketplace. It also increases your credibility and the trust factor. And as I think we can probably all relate to the fact that we all want to do business with people we know, like, and trust. So this is a really important aspect as well when you're presenting. And ultimately, we want to create a win-win environment and help our potential customers or investors or partners or peers understand that how our idea or the opportunity that we are pitching is going to be bring positive outcomes for them. So what elements go into the perfect pitch? Well, number one, we have to have an attention-grabbing introduction. So if you can Google a surprising statistic related to what it is you're talking about, include a bold claim, or tell a compelling story. These are all ways that you're going to be able to captivate your audience. Also, number two is have a clear and concise message. Always avoid jargon and abbreviations and acronyms, because for the most part, if you're speaking to somebody who isn't directly in your field of expertise, they're probably not going to know what those things mean. So try and keep the language as clear and as plain as possible. And also try not to be too technical either. You want to make sure that everybody in the room can understand the message that you're relaying. Also, put together compelling visuals. This is at the heart of presenting is storytelling. So really make sure that you're able to make a good first impression through the visuals, because having a messy presentation, it's kind of like akin to if you were to walk into a boardroom, a meeting, and in your sweats, right? Like you want to make sure that you walk in wearing the right attire. So having compelling visuals is going to really help you. And I've got some tips on a few ways that you can do that. Also, adding images, charts, and graphs helps to increase the credibility factor, because you're giving some facts. And also add a human element. So whenever and wherever you can, try and put a little bit of your personality into the pitch. Number four is social proof. The more that you can back up the message of the opportunity that you're presenting, the problem that you're solving, with evidence, whether that be market statistics, case studies that your company has maybe had some really successful customer outcomes, testimonials, and other key data that's really going to help to bring a lot of credibility to your message. And again, building that trust factor. And number 5 is to include a very clear call to action. So it's really wonderful to be able to give people information that's useful to them. But at the end of the day, we want them to take action, right? So what is the action that you would like your audience to take? Whether that be if you're pitching to customers, perhaps or a client, perhaps it's closing or securing a meeting to close the deal for the next meeting, or perhaps it's looking for investment and going for the ask. Is this something, Mr. Investor, that you're interested in? And if there's any objections, answering those right then and there. Or perhaps it is maybe you're pitching an idea to your management team on how to go about because you want to implement a new software. And so you really need to be able to help your management team and your peers as well, who are going to be the users likely, to understand how this is going to benefit them. So at the end of the day, we also will really only take action on something that's asked of us if we can see how it's going to benefit us. And that's especially true considering we're all so busy today. So we literally only have capacity to give attention to something that's really going to help us in the moment, or at least the near future. Okay, so next we want to look at the importance of research and preparation. I think we can all probably relate to the fact that really understanding who it is that we're speaking to and making sure that we are well prepared to give the presentation, it's going to help us to increase our confidence level. Public speaking can sometimes be really challenging for all of us, even those of us who are experienced speakers. But what helps to increase the confidence level and to really help us to connect with our audience is when we feel comfortable, because the energy that we feel prepared, the energy that we convey to our audience is going to be felt by them. And so if we can really create an engaging presence in the room that helps to put other people at ease, and it helps to increase the engagement level and making it a conversation. And then know your audience. Make sure you're tailoring your pitch to them. And this is really important, because if you don't really deeply understand their goals, needs, pain points, and motivations, how are you going to talk to what's important to them? There's a lot of people out there that want to get their message across. And they have their own goals, but they're not really truly understanding the goals of the people that they are speaking with. It needs to be a win-win. And in order to do that, you have to understand who it is that you're speaking to and what's important to them. And also what their timelines are, and also who's the decision maker, and who do they report to, and what's their decision-making process. So you also want to prepare your clear and concise message that helps to address your audience's needs and tells them how you're going to solve their problem or bring them an opportunity. And finally, ensuring that you have all your numbers, your market statistics. If you're selling a product or service, you have all of the investment levels and options available for your customers, so they don't have to ask. You can answer any questions that likely will come up before they even need to ask them. And also give as much data as you can to really back up your claim and show how your solution is going to help your customer or your whoever your audience is to solve their problem or bring them an opportunity. Okay, the next thing to take into consideration is your slide design. As the saying goes, we have one chance to make a good first impression. As I mentioned, we want to really make sure that we have a polished look and feel to our slides, because that really says a lot about our organization. So some of the do's to consider is use an existing template in PowerPoint or Google Slides, which will help to make your design a lot easier You can also use other presentation applications that have full-on designs, like the one you see here in a program called canva.com. Canva is a professional design application online, which is you don't have to be a designer to use. So it has tons of templates that make it really, really easy for you to slide in your own images, to put in your own colors, your corporate colors. And it really helps to create that polished look and feel. And Canva's not, I think that they do have a free version as well. So you can even just start poking around and trying it out. And it's also really powerful to use for other types of marketing, whether that be brochures or social media posts, or literally like every type of marketing you can imagine. But you can even design business cards and logos in there if you wanted to. So next is try out the new AI template builders, which are like beautiful AI, which I have an example of and I'm going to show you in a minute. They really help to make, especially for us, those of us who are non-designers. I mean, I do have some design skills just because I've been in the industry for a long time as a marketer. But now with AI, it helps us to be so much more efficient and creative, especially when you don't have time to be creative. Use the tools that are available to you now. So, and do make sure that you incorporate your company's colors and fonts that are in your brand guide. It's really important, and that your logo is really crisp and clear. It's important that all of these elements look really good, that your imagery is high resolution, for example, too. Do leave lots of white space and bullet points, because what happens when we see a really super busy slide, like some people will literally put paragraphs in their slide, and what does that do? That shuts down our brain, because we just don't have the capacity these days to read a whole lot of text on a screen. So use bullet points. Bullet points are fantastic because that helps to jog your memory in terms of what you want to say. And it also helps to get the message across, because some people are more audible learners. Some people are more visual. Some people really like to read. Some people like to watch videos. So really try and mix up the media as much as you can. Just make sure that you use lots of big, bold text on areas that are really important that you want to point out, and excellent imagery. And you can use stock photo sites like istockphoto.com, which has some really affordable professional images. Ideally, if you have images of your own business and your own products and your own people doing things that are interesting to bring that human element into it, that is also ideal. But you just want to make sure it's not like selfie pictures, obviously, right? Like they need to be professionally done imaging. So that is on the design side for best practices. And now I want to show you how this works in action. So here's PowerPoint's AI Designer, which is the first level of what you could do.
If you haven't heard, the PowerPoint team has been busy updating one of its newest features, Designer, a feature that is already available to most Office 365 subscribers. If you haven't had a chance to see Designer in action, here is what it does in a nutshell. Here I have a plain, boring presentation using one of PowerPoint's built-in themes, in this case, the Office theme. Now, if I were to add a picture to the slide, Designer, that brand new feature I was telling you about, will pop up and make new layout suggestions based upon the theme I have chosen and the pictures I have inserted. And that is what Designer does. It instantly gives you a slide makeover, if you are using the title slide or the title and content slide, that is, or one of Microsoft built-in themes. If you are using your own custom theme or template, Designer will not have any ideas for you. Well, brand new to Designer, most recently, the PowerPoint team has been working on new layouts, ones that incorporate multiple pictures. They don't have these layouts available for every theme just yet, but if you are using either the Office or Gallery themes, you can insert up to 4 images and you'll have brand new layout suggestions for all of those images. And speaking of images, Designer has improved facial recognition now, cropping in and centering on people's faces. In addition to multiple picture support and facial recognition, Designer is getting smarter about color. With Designer's new color extraction capabilities, your suggested layouts will use color based on the most visually impactful colors from your photo. This new color extraction feature is currently available with the new gallery theme, but expect it to roll out to other themes soon over the next few months.
Okay, so that is the basic level of PowerPoint's getting pretty good now with its AI. But if you want to take it a step further, you can use an app and integrate it like Beautiful AI. So let's watch how that works.
Get the best of both worlds, the familiarity of PowerPoint and the smart slides of Beautiful AI. In this video, I will demonstrate the Beautiful AI add-in for PowerPoint. Let's get started. First, you will need a Beautiful AI account. If you don't have one, you can start a free 14-day trial and then use the free basic account once the trial ends. Within PowerPoint, click the Insert tab and then click the Get Add-ins button. In the search box of the pop-up window, type in Beautiful AI, press the search button or the return or enter key. The first one on the list should be the official add-in. Click the Add button. If prompted, click the Continue button to agree to their terms of use. In the Home tab, a Beautiful AI button will appear. A right panel will appear with a prompt to sign in. Click the button to sign in. You will be redirected to the Beautiful AI website. Back in PowerPoint, if the sign-in doesn't seem to work, click the Beautiful AI button to close the panel, then click it again to open it. That should resolve the issue. Within the panel, you will see an Add Slide button. Click the button to insert a smart slide. If Beautiful AI doesn't recognize the fonts of your slide deck, you will be prompted to select new fonts for headings and body text. Beautiful AI uses web fonts and may not recognize Microsoft's default fonts. If you have the font files, you can upload them or select from the options provided. At this point, you can also change your color scheme and slide background. The colors shown are from the color scheme selected within PowerPoint. If you have a custom or brand colors you want to use, set that color scheme in PowerPoint before you click the Beautiful AI Add Slide button. Click the More Options button for more customizations of slide color, font, and layout. Click the Done button when you're ready to move on to the next step. You are then provided with Smart Slide options. Click the one that you want. From there, choose a style. The slide will be generated within Beautiful AI first. If you want to make edits within Beautiful AI, you can. You can change the slide color, layout, decorative elements, or even switch the smart slide. Additionally, you can change the content like images, font characteristics, and the actual text. If you have a pro, team, or enterprise account, you can use the designer bot to rewrite the text for you. When ready, click the Save button. Choose how you want to save the slide, either as an editable PowerPoint slide or to save it as an image. For this example, I'm choosing Save as an editable PowerPoint slide. Click the Save to PowerPoint button. Once processed, the slide will appear in the thumbnail pane within PowerPoint. Continue this process to build out your slide deck. If you have a pro, team, or enterprise account, you can use the DesignerBot AI feature to generate each slide for you. Once your slides are created, edit the slides like you normally would within PowerPoint. Everything from the images to the text to the slide color can be changed. Continue watching for more.
Okay, so has anybody been using any AI yet? Any AI tools?
No.
No, there. Punita, did you say yes?
No.
Oh, not yet? Okay.
Not yet.
I've played around with the chat AI.
Yeah,
Just like-
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And what are you doing with it, Nicole?
Oh, actually, well, I was just kind of like, what's out there for carbon capture and storage? So I was asking it different questions of from what I figured stakeholders and people would be in like just random questions that would come up that I didn't have an answer for. So it was interesting because it was scrubbing the internet to see what was out there for information.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, it's, where this is going, AI is going to take us, who is kind of a little bit freaky at the same time. I hope that technology or AI doesn't think that us as human beings are a little too slow for where things are heading.
It saved me though from reading like tons and tons of research papers. So that was nice.
And it is ChatGPT, everybody. It's
Yes,
all,
I tried that.
You did, Anita.
Yeah.
How did you
Yeah.
find it?
It was interesting. Yes, I did try GPT. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So you could even do for your presentation, just like Nicole said, how she did a little bit of research. It did the research for her.
Yeah.
Like you can essentially put in the right prompt and you could get a whole presentation and the outline done for you, depending on your topic. I mean, it really can save you a ton of time, even on you're putting together your outline for your presentation, as well as getting a lot of background information that you'll need to help position your company or whatever it is that the message that you're trying to get across to your audience. So it's definitely, these AI tools are so useful, and they save us a ton of time. What used to take us, up to sometimes hours in research, you can have done in minutes by ChatGPT, and same with on the design side with templates from PowerPoint and Beautiful AI. And Beautiful AI is really taking it that step further to basically dressing to impress your audience, right? It really makes things look super polished. And you don't have to, the benefit is you don't have to know really sort of in-depth design elements. It'll do it for you. So that's pretty cool.
Get the best of both.
Okay, so let's talk about preparing to pitch. So we need to practice. The old saying, practice makes perfect. We want to make sure that we have an outline of what it is we're going to talk about, and we have all of the key elements ready, as well as the background information, and we know our ask. So we want to get to the win-win. In order to do that, we need to practice the delivery to ensure that we're comfortable with the information that we're conveying, and also that we can speak with confidence. Because again, the more comfortable you feel, the more you're going to be able to engage with the people that you're speaking with. And also knowing the slides, knowing your content on every slide, and having the support materials ready and available, and rehearsing your timing as well. Timing is really important to make sure that you stay on track. And another thing that's really good, everybody, is I don't know, perhaps you're completely comfortable speaking in public, and if so, kudos to you. When I am now, but when I first started public speaking and teaching and especially giving talks at conferences and things like that, I was petrified when I first got up to the podium. So I thought, oh, I better take care of this. This anxiety is no good. So I started going to Toastmasters, and there's a Toastmasters group pretty much in every region, neighborhood. Like you can easily find one in your area. And the great thing about Toastmasters is it gives you a chance to really hone your presentation skills in a very supportive environment, and it's not expensive. It's super affordable. And that is literally what helped me to actually get to the point where I enjoy speaking in public. And it certainly wasn't like that when I first started. I was literally, get up to the podium and my voice would shake, my hands would get all clammy. It was like crazy, right? Your heart's beating, racing, and especially whether you're speaking in front of 5 people at the office or you're speaking in front of 500. If you really strengthen your presentation and public speaking skills, that's going to take you such a long way, both personally and professionally. So I highly recommend checking out Toastmasters in your area, because it's one of the best things I've ever done for myself, my career, and for me personally too. Just gives me more confidence when I'm speaking. Yeah.
Just letting you know, Ken had put in the chat, because you can't see the chat, but he was saying there's the Toastmasters online now. that you could join?
Oh, yes, sure. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Ken. Good, very good point. So Toastmasters likely, yeah, they have their parent company has an online meeting, but also so do many of the individual groups in various neighborhoods. So if you belong to a club, it may also be doing hybrid meetings. So perhaps you can attend in person sometimes, and if you can't, you can attend online as well. So that's definitely a really great thing to do if you want to really get good at giving presentations and that are compelling and really motivate your audience to act. So finally, the last part of your presentation is be prepared for Q&A and anticipate the possible questions and have your answers ready, so that you don't kind of get stuck on the spot with not knowing an answer to a question. Obviously, you can't know everything, but really, there's probably going to be some questions that are going to likely be in your target person's mind that you're speaking to. So it's good if you can have answers prepared. Okay, and then your presence. So as we know, when we're in each other's space, it's really, we transfer energy to each other, right? So when you're presenting, it's so important to maintain eye contact, have a really warm, engaging presence, make it more of a conversation than a lecture, right? I always try the best of my ability, whether I'm doing webinars like this or I'm teaching in class or I'm presenting for my business to a customer. I like to really get feedback and see how people feel about the material and what their experiences have been. So the more you can engage your audience, the more powerful that presentation is going to be. And then also make sure your body posture is looking really confident. So you're standing up straight, you're making eye contact with your audience, and you're using hand gestures and really good use of your body to emphasize key points. Of course, speak with clarity and authority. You are the expert in your field, so don't be afraid to share the knowledge that you have with the people that you're speaking to, and let them know how you want to help them. Let them know what your company is doing and how it's creating positive impacts in the marketplace. Really, just share all of the ways that you would like to help your customer or your partner or your peer if you're implementing a new software, for example. Just really make the benefits obvious. And then if you're feeling nervous, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you are the expert. That's why people are there, to hear your ideas and to understand how you can help them to solve their problems or to gain an opportunity. Now, do you all present on a fairly regular basis? Nicole, you said you are, yeah? How do you feel currently when you're presenting? And are you what's your process?
I've been doing it for quite a long time on very different subjects, so I agree with a lot of what you're sharing today. And I used to be super nervous, and now I've learned that people tend to respond when it's not scripted and it doesn't sound too robotic, right? Like when you really start to speak from the heart. And Michelle does this really well, where she's super engaging because she's being authentic, she's being her true self, and just speaking honestly and openly and kind of relaxed. It helps you as a speaker, and I think it helps connect with the audience.
It sure does. Yeah, excellent points, Nicole, for sure. And that's awesome that you already do a lot of presenting, because that will hopefully help you. You probably feel a lot more confident and comfortable when you're in the room with other people, and that will definitely shine through, and it'll allow you as well to be more authentic and genuine and show who you are. Punita, how about you? Do you do some presenting?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of presentations do you do?
Yeah, actually, I was a teacher and I had to present a lot of slides and a lot of posters to the kids to explain.
Yes.
So by teaching them, I got comfortable, and then I had to teach my own kids. And initially, my daughter was very, very shy. She would not speak in public at all. So I was in trying to help her, I just had to model myself, and now she's a good speaker. And I just shed out her shyness, and she completed her master's with flying colors, and now she is a part of different organizations and give lots of speeches.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's
Yeah.
so nice when you can take your experiences and be able to share that with her, so that now it sounds like her career is really taking off too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And from one teacher to another, I get it. I totally understand what you're saying, especially when you're looking at engaging young people. That that has
Yeah.
a whole series of its own, how-tos.
Yeah, because initially I thought she would not do it at all, because I was worried about her marks and stuff like that. I said, because in order for my daughter to get A's and stuff like that, so I had to work hard with her. And then one day when she was in 6th grade, she called from the school, and there was a competition, like oratorical competition. And they had to first write. I thought it was just for the class marks, you're going to be graded.
Yeah.
And then she called from the school and said, "Mommy, I got in." I said, "You got in? What?" I'm chosen for the oratorical competition. I said, "Wow, that's great." and and she did. And then she just and since then she was just kept on going one after the other, doing stuff, being a part of many clubs, many organizations. Even during her university time, she was a part of many, especially for women health and women's rights, and still she is part of it. And she did her master's in global health, and one of her papers got published in university. So I think from that track, I just kept confident, like, okay, yeah, if my daughter can do it, I can do it too now.
Absolutely. What an inspiration she is. Holy Nelly. And just the fact that you set her on that path, right? That must feel so good as
Yes.
a mother, and also as as a teacher, knowing that you want to inspire the next generation to be strong communicators. So that's really neat.
Yeah.
That's good. Right on. Thank you for sharing. Is it Cyrene? Did I say that right? Cyrene? I hope so. Are you there? Okay, maybe Cyrene wants to stay incognito. Okay. So in wrapping up your presentation, what is your call to action? So once you've had a great conversation, you've conveyed the selling points of your message. What is it? What's the next steps? What do you want your audience to do? Do you want them, if they're a customer, are they ready to buy? Can you set the next meeting? Are they the decision maker? Do you need to speak to some of their partners? Are you implementing a new software at your company? Then what is it that you would like management to do? Do you want them to approve the new software? You're speaking to your peers. Maybe you need to encourage and motivate them for some change management to use the new system. You have to think about what your outcomes are, because it's great if you can deliver excellent information, but we want to make sure that it's acted upon. So what is the call to action that you have? And then what is a compelling business pitch makes all the difference in achieving your goals. So make sure you also know what your goals are, because you want to create that win-win outcome, right? And go ahead and dazzle them by showing some personality, and make sure that you're giving them a little peek into who you are and what excites you about the opportunity that you're presenting. And then get out there and deliver a pitch that engages your people and that delivers your value proposition and helps you achieve your business objectives. And you definitely got this. The more that we can prepare, the more that we can wrap our presentation up in a nice package, and that we can be our authentic selves, and make sure that we're engaging them with questions, then we're really going to be creating a powerful business pitch that is going to be acted upon and remembered. So that, in a nutshell, is how to give a really engaging pitch. Now, does anybody have any questions?
It's Ken. I got a comment.
Yeah, Ken.
I found that impromptu, if you've got an idea and you're at a meeting and everybody's got a piece of the meeting, if you latch on to somebody else's idea and then tag your idea onto it, if you can, then when you present your idea, you have at least one supporter.
Yes.
It's surprising how many times my batting average is pretty good, because I'll keep my mouth shut until I find somebody who brings up a point, and then I'll latch on to their point. And a lot of times, most times, the batting average is pretty good. I'm supporting them and their idea, even though I may be a different slant. They'll jump on the bandwagon and it'll get approved.
Oh, that's an excellent idea, Ken, for sure. Do you have, especially, we all love to have our ideas supported and to be able to share common interests with others too. So if we can support somebody else in some of their ideas, then that definitely helps with getting buy-in. Do you have a specific example that you're thinking of?
The last time I did it, I can't remember what the exact example was, but anyway, it was at a meeting. It was on the education committee, and I made a suggestion or I had a suggestion, and I just kept my mouth shut. I can't pinpoint exactly what it was, but somebody else made something that was quite similar, and I just tagged onto it. It had something to do with software or whatever, and let me think. It was it was closed captioning. It sounds like something real simple, and they were saying that we need to be more inclusive, etc. And I said, well, like we're not putting close. It was on Zoom, and we weren't using closed captioning, and I was having a problem hearing what some of the people were saying. My hearing is not that great. And I waited until somebody had it, because I didn't know how to phrase it. I'm slow, so I need some time to formulate what I'm going to say. And then immediately, as soon as somebody said something about being more inclusive, I jumped on it and said, we need to make sure that closed captioning is the toggle switch is flipped on for closed captioning at every one of our future meetings. And there were people that spoke up. Oh, no. The closed captioning is it's broken, and there's bad language expressed, and no, that was a bad idea. But I had related it to somebody else's idea, and they jumped in and said, "Oh, no. I said that we better do that."
So then
that's the example.
I think it's a good idea, especially if you're speaking. You got to know your audience, right? But if you're speaking to people who might have a bit of a harder time hearing it, that is an excellent idea to have closed captioning. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's fantastic. All right, well, in summary, that is how to perfect your business pitch, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the information, and I hope that you can use some of these great AI tools that are available, because it really does make your presentation look really polished, and it helps with your presenting overall. And also it just saves so much time. And in today's busy work environment, who can't use a little more time in their day? And also just to really help people to be engaged in your message. So yeah, so that's it for me. I hope that you all enjoyed it. It was so nice to see you. And if anybody has any questions, please let me know. And do follow me in social media because I often post daily tips and tricks on everything marketing related and everything related to business growth. So I'm happy to connect with you there. And also, I think we all can relate to the fact that the larger we grow our networks on LinkedIn, the more opportunities can present themselves. So please do reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. I do have my, you're going to be receiving a copy of this presentation, and my LinkedIn address is in the presentation. But maybe if you want to put your address in the chat too, then we can each connect with each other as well. So thank you so much, everybody. And Michelle, I will hand this back over to you, and I hope everyone has a great day.
Thanks so much, Loa. I honestly can tell you when you follow her, I follow her on LinkedIn. Is that the proper language for LinkedIn? Anyways, we're connected on LinkedIn, and she puts a lot of good information, inspiration, some tangible, practical stuff on there. So I really encourage you to give her a follow on LinkedIn. Thanks so much, Loa. When you pulled up the PowerPoints, because I'm not great with technology. Like I actually only discovered Canva last summer. And I was like, where has this been all my life? Or where, as long as I've been in business? I guess brilliant.
It's awesome.
So what was the Beautify?
Oh, beautiful.ai. That's the presentation. So you can use it. It's an online app. You can use it on its own, or you can integrate it with your PowerPoint.
Perfect. I thought that was amazing. Like I'm actually, as soon as we're going to log off here, I'm going to go try to check out that. Did it cost money? I think I was taking a sip of water or something and I don't know if that was on there.
Yeah, so there's I don't think they have a freemium model, but their starter, I believe it was $12 US, I think was their starter a month. So it's totally reasonable. Because if we were to hire designers to help us make our presentations look really polished, that would be then probably a couple $1,000s to come up with a really nice template and help to position everything. So these AI tools are something else.
They are. Yeah. Okay, we have 5 minutes. We'll open up the floor if anyone has any questions. This is a really good opportunity to ask our amazing, I'm going to even say our expert here. Please jump on in. Yeah, I'm going to check. Yeah, we got 4 minutes. So bring any questions that you might have to the table to ask Loa.
It's Ken here again. I've got a suggestion for, I know you're supposed to do it in the evaluation, but I've got a suggestion for a future a webinar to give us an illustration of how to use GPT with better prompts. So maybe you can mark that down for
Sure, you got it.
A Zen idea.
Thank you. That's a really good idea. And that's something that I've literally been, because it's you can get some great information with just a basic prompt, but if you know the right prompt to use, then that gives you an even richer, more robust answer. So there really is a bit of a trick, a bit of a technique to it. So yes, Ken, that is an excellent idea for a topic. Thank you. I'm sure Tara and Danielle and Michelle are probably all thinking about that, considering it's the hot topic of the day, all the AI tools.
Yeah, so appreciate that, Ken. In the chat box, just want to ask if you're giving an e-certificate to your participants. So are you referring to today's session? And I'm going to assume that she is. And we don't typically give certificates but I think Loa, for the work that she does, and if you have people who are to sign up for any of your programs, I would imagine you give out e-certificates as well.
Yes, for the full courses, like I teach Indigenous entrepreneurship and various types of career development courses. So yes, any of my courses, I do hand out certificates for that, but not so much on these webinars because they're pretty short.
Yeah, they're short and sweet, especially with you who carries all of that knowledge. How do you pack it in an hour session? So Thank you so much. So you all will receive this PowerPoint presentation via email. You also will be sent an evaluation link. So this would be a great opportunity just to offer your feedback about today's presentation. And then even moving forward, what are some things that you would like to hear? Like, for example, Ken, AKA Zen, dropped in an idea today. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again. Loa, it is always such goodness to be in your virtual presence.
Thank you, Michelle.
I will continue to follow you, watch you, read what you put on LinkedIn. And the rest of you, I hope we cross paths again. We will always be here Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with Can Do. So we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everybody. It was so nice meeting you and seeing you today. Happy presenting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.